Good morning. It's Monday. That's a good thing. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. I'm Ryan. I am one of those guys who hits garage sales, yard sales, thrift stores, and the like, and tries to make a few bucks online. This past weekend, reasonably decent sales, even though I only had four. A couple were really good, and I think I got a couple of decent scores over the weekend. Went Saturday and did some thrift store runs with the kids, and I think we all got something cool. So that is what we're going to do. So jumping into the sales. We were jumping to the sales. Okay. And one of the books I don't see right off, but that's okay because I will show something similar. If that doesn't fall down. Okay. Sales. 1, 2, 3. Oh, somebody hadn't paid yet. That's what's going on. Okay. We're waiting to get paid. I'm waiting for the pay. I'm waiting for the pay of a motorcycle. That's irritating. Okay. Any dang way. Starting out, books. Sold books. Imagine that. This one's been sitting on for a while, but I think I only got it for a dime. Japan's New Baptists. This is sort of a historical read. Oh, it's Convention Press. So this is the old Baptist. I think before Lifeway it was Convention Press. I don't know if they were still a thing, but 1956. Japan's New Baptist. A little bit of a history book or something from post-war, I'm guessing. History on Christianity in Japan, which this may be an interesting book about post-war Japanese history if you're into history stuff. Next up, on a completely different note, $10. I haven't seen on that in a while. It's been drawn down for a while because there wasn't another one like it online. So I put it up. I probably had it for $20-$30 starting out, and just slowly brought it down over time. And I think finally it hit between price and the right person seeing it, grabbing it. So there you go. Next up, different vein, Sword the Sorcerer, with maybe a Frazetta cover. $10 for this. This is out of the recent haul I got from a Goodwill, which somebody donated an entire collection of decent fantasy novels. And when I say entire, I mean I think I've gone and bought over 100 books. I don't know if I've hit 200 yet. And there's a bunch I'm waiting to go to Last Chance to see if I can get them for a quarter instead of for $1. So that's been that. And I sold another book along those lines. And I'm peeking to see. I don't know if I put it in the box back there. I'll have to drag it out. It is similar to... Okay. I'll have to... it's in the veins of this. World of Darkness. I think it's a werewolf book. This one's vampire. I saw one that said werewolf on it. And I think it's the most expensive of the bunch. There's another couple here in the same series that I'm probably just going to lot up because they don't seem to be selling as well. But that went for like $13. So that one was pretty good. And finally, $30. It's alive! This is, genre this is in is late 70s through 80s, early 90s horror paperbacks with limited runs. They can just fetch you $7-8 to $30 to $40. There does seem to be a little bit of a ceiling to them. It's one of those things that I think the collector community deliberately won't pay above a certain amount. And so they kind of keep their own price controls in place. It's kind of interesting. Usually it's the zebra horror stuff, but I've seen a few others, and I got a handful of others out of that lot, and I'm looking forward to see if some of them sell. There's a couple of authors that I think they're going to go, but this one in particular is one of the good ones. So good as in good sellers. I don't know if it's a good book. So that, and the one I'm waiting on, I got to send him an invoice and reminder. There's been a bunch of watchers on this, and I've been kind of shooting out a bunch of offers. This is an Indian motorcycle model die-cast by Franklin Mint. This thing's pretty stinking cool. But I'm really kind of not sure why it hasn't sold yet. I think I'm right at that price range. Like, I think I've already pulled it down $5. So I think it'll eventually sell. I think somebody accepted an offer, I think 42 bucks on it. And I'm still waiting for him to pay. But come on. Yeah, 42. I'll get over 35. I'm fairly confident of that. I picked it up by $3 at the thrift store. So there you go. Now, there's that. Sales. That was my sales. My finds. Almost all books, and then a fun car find that I'll get into in a minute. First up, I'm trying to back off a little bit when I see them, but it's hard for me to not pick up graphic novels and comics at $1 a piece or less, and manga. Bone. If you haven't read Bone and you're into comics, Bone's really good, and like kids can read it. 10 or older. It looks silly, and in parts it is, but this is a really good, really well written comic book, and these should be selling for more than like $3 to $5 a piece. That's how good that is. They've printed a bunch of them. So, man, dude, I've sold a few here and there, not as much as I wish I would have. And it's another thing where a complete run sells better than individual comics. So, there you go. And a handful of books here that I think at minimum are going to wad up well, if not individually. Ayn Rand for the New Intellectual. If you see, I've sold Fountainhead before, and older versions of whatever her other one is. That is an annoying book. But this one, popular author that is not as in common work, sometimes goes okay. And Mac Bolan books, John McDonald books, wad up okay, $2 to $3 a piece if you can get them for 50 cents a piece or less. Same with George R.R. Martin books. And this one I actually need to look up, and I need to see if I can get a little, it's not going to go a little more. But I've soured on George R.R. Martin. I originally kind of liked Song of Ice and Fire. And between it just being a hopeless series and it degrading and him not writing it, I've soured on it. So, Everworld Books. Done pretty good lotting these up when I can find them at a reasonable price. So, I've got... I was saying, I think I've got another one that's been stashed away. Boxcar Children books. Lot them up. $2 to $3 a piece. Sometimes more. Actually, I don't think more. That's about where it is. This is one of those, I'm on a couple of Facebook groups. These go okay. This is a bolo a little bit of. Childhood of Famous Americans. These do pretty good. These really do well in lots. These do better if the bolo on these is the old ones. The ones they're hardcover 1950s, 1960s. Those do really well. I have sold some of those in the $30 to $40 range. They got reprinted over time, and there's a few curriculums, particularly homeschool, that use some of these. So keep an eye out, and if you've got an avenue to like pick one up for 50 cents and sell it for $2 or $3, it's worth doing. I'm in some groups that I can do that. So, Some of these I actually took a chance on because I forgot my phone in my car, so I just grabbed. And the books are cheap enough at one particular thrift store. I just grab them. Pretty books. Almost don't even know the title, but this one says American Sermons and the American Revolution. This is, I think I've sold some Library of America. I think I've actually sold a couple of these before in different aspects, but these may be $10 to $20 books, and if not, I can still sell them as decorative online. So there's a really good avenue of selling really pretty books with really kind of impressive, like socially impressive titles. Like you see this on stuff. Oh, that person's really smart. They ain't never read that book. Let's see what else. Ballantyne's Illustrated History of World War II, Okinawa. These books I grabbed 50 cents a piece. Some of these are worth $10 or more. I recently sold one, if you look back a few weeks ago. I think I grabbed one and it flipped pretty quickly in the $8 to $10 range. This is one that was 50 cents. These lot up okay, or sometimes you can find a collector on them. These old 1950s, 60s kids sort of Whitman Publishing books. If you can find these in good condition, they do okay. And there are collectors out there of those. Because they're neat covers, and usually a lot of them are TV and movie related, like Old Yeller and Davy Crockett and that sort of stuff. And there is a handful of collectors out there for those. Another bread and butter. This is a good hymnal to pick up too, because these consistently go $15 to $20. The hymnal for worship and celebration. This is sort of I think a 80s 90s hymnal. They came in. I actually went to a non-denominational church that used these. So this is a no-brainer on this hymnal. I snagged it. So here's that. R.L. Stein. R.L. Stein books a lot up. Some of these Fear Streets are rare enough that you can sell them individually, but usually it's $2 to $3 a piece in a lot. And I've got a few. I've got enough to do. More Conan books. Lock those up. Rambo, First Blood, Part 2. Part 2. This is like a $10 to $15 book, I think. The original Rambo is really good. I think there's one that was done before the first movie. That's the book you want, is that first printing of Rambo before the movie got produced. Or they came out around the same time. That's a good one. Conan. Again, more bread and butter. Tolkien. I need to see. I think I can put a set together. I think I can put a set of 4 books together and sell them, and I'll get about $15. And this one's like red and well worn, and I still get it. So, because that's a good series, and if you ain't read it, you oughta. I'm actually in the middle of Two Towers right now. On my Eastman Press book that I got at a Goodwill for $2. That's why you Goodwill, folks. So you can get Eastman Press Lord of the Rings books are worth $300. That's mine, and nobody's going to get it. Because that's staying in the family. Probably. And this one, finally, I think this is like a $20 Ultimate Werewolf. Sort of a werewolf short story collection. Intro by Harlan Ellison. And so, new stories by some of the world's leading authors. So, Craig Shaw Gardner and Philip Jose Farmer. I don't know that that's going to be a new Philip Jose Farmer story in there. But anyway, this one's in really good shape. So, worth snagging. Look up old werewolf. Like, if you see monster books that predate sort of the modern werewolf, vampire-y, Twilight craze, those are ones to get. I think that one's those that may have some stories a little bit older. Okay. Oh, finally, a little bit of a mystery, but I think I know what I'm going to do with it. This bad boy right here. It's a Hemi-Cuda by Playing Mantis. This is a slot car. It is missing, I think, the attachment here to go on the track. This is the one of those cars you put on the electric track and goes. But it's a Hemi-Cuda. I have seen some of these in the $20 to $30 range, but not the gray one. I've not seen this one. I don't know if it's rare. I don't know what kind of the deal is with this car. Doesn't show up on an image search on either eBay or Google image search. So I think this is a minimum $20 to $30 car. But I'm gonna do what I usually do when I hit something like that. If you find something rare, I'm gonna put it up probably for $49.99, and then see what hits. See who yells at me. See if anybody really jumps on it. But going off the theory that if there's a substantial number of them that are selling or in a certain price range, and you find one that nobody else has, and maybe it's worth a little bit more. So that's what we're going for there. So that's going to be that plan. So I got stuff to list, so I got to get busy this afternoon. I try to do my listings like I got a process. Take my walk at 3, come back, pictures, listings, probably for an hour or two until I get done with what I wanted to get done with. So that's that plan, and I got plenty to do today, and I need to do it. Excuse me. Quick note on Wednesday. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. If you saw a couple weeks ago, I got a big box of G.I. Joe stuff in, G.I. Joe and Transformers and that sort of stuff. Sold all the G.I. Joe shells and that sort of stuff for about $5 a piece, maybe about $60. So I'm in the black on that lot, on the box that I bought. I paid more than $60 for it, but I sold a couple other things, and so I'm in the black on it. And he showed some interest in one of the Ad STs, and if you notice he took a look at it, but he may have a guy interested in the Optimus Prime and some of the other stuff I got for sale. So good stuff there. So anything else I need? No, I think we got it all covered. So it's time to box it up, get it out the door, so we can get to the real stuff. So we can get room. And I got like 3 boxes of books that weren't selling, weren't moving, nothing. I got rid of like 3 or 4 boxes of books. I got to fill up a box. I want to try to fill up a box, another box today or tomorrow, and get another box out to the donate and keep that process moving, so you can uncover stuff and like get to the real death pile that's like, oh, I need to sell that because that's got money in it. So anyway, that's today, and we're gonna move right along. Y'all have a good one out there.